for the all hands here, first 10, maybe 15 minutes here, we've got Paul Boyd, our AE from New Res, who's joining us to give us a quick breakdown. Always good to get a refresher on what our lending partners have to offer for us. So without further ado, Paul, please wow us.
All right. So again, I have a PowerPoint here, and it's very lengthy, so I'm not going to read through all the information. But at the end of this meeting, I'll forward this PowerPoint so you guys can have access and reference it. And as you can see, here is my contact information. I have a cell number, but leaders want us to work through RingCentral, and so this is my desk phone number that you see there. But I also have a cell number if you prefer to speak with me off the record, and I can provide that to you. And then also there's my email address if you want to jot it down. But mainly what I want to talk to you guys about is non-QM. I don't see that you guys do a lot. Do you guys do any non-QM business?
Here and there, DSCR. One of our LOs that did a lot of the non-QM isn't with us anymore. So we're pretty a paper shop, but we run into some stuff here and there.
Okay, what's going on with my screen here? There we go. Okay, so we do a lot of DSCR. So I definitely recommend looking at us. And right now we do have some pricing incentives on DSCR. We're giving an extra 50 basis points through the 16th. I know it's only a few more days, but hopefully leaders will agree to extend that out. But even before our incentive was put in place, our pricing is really competitive on DSCR. And one thing that we did just announce is the maximum interested party contributions has increased to 6% on investment. And that's huge for us. And then also just announced this past week, we will allow loans that are closing in an LLC to not be disclosed to the credit bureaus. So that's a huge win for us on DSCR. It does have a minimum 660 FICO score for first across the board, but for first-time investors, they need to have at least a 680 score. And we do have a couple different platforms of DSCR. We have our platinum and then our standard DSCR. And I don't know, you said you do some DSCR business?
Yeah, if it's going to be non-QM, it's probably going to be DSCR. So this
Mainly?
stuff's pretty interesting, especially with people wanting to do short-term rental stuff and all that.
Yeah, we will order an AirDNA report for you on those. They're free, and I think you guys probably know how to access those as well. Our minimum DSCR is 5, so we don't have a 0 DSCR. I think there's some lenders out there that go as low as 0, but ours is a minimum of 550.
Which Paul, can you give us, just because again, we're not super well versed in DSCR, can you give us a quick breakdown of the 1 versus a 0.8 versus a 0.5? Like, what would we be looking for here? Is that the rent matching what the PITI would be?
That's correct.
Okay.
That's exactly what it is. And I can send, actually after this call, I can send a breakdown of the calculation to determine your DCR ratio, if you like.
Yeah, that would be excellent. Because I know we get dream investors that watch some Rich Dad Poor Dad or some Tony Robbins thing, and they want to get into buying real estate, and we need to be well versed in order to tell them how it actually works. With you need to have, it basically comes down to LTV solving all the problems, right? With these things.
And one thing I also like that's highlighted in red there is you can, if you have someone that's having issues with their DTI, you can qualify them on the interest-only payment. This is the one product that we do allow you to qualify off IO. This is the only one.
Well, when you say, so answer me this, with the DTI is not that critical though on these DSCR, right? Because if your ratio lines up, it's kind of like, who cares what your DTI is if the rents match the PITI, right?
That's correct, yeah. But there is an IO payment for interest-only financing available.
Okay.
Okay. And then I don't know if you do any bank statement programs, but we have what we call a smart self for your clients that need to use bank statements for qualifying. And it does have a minimum 640 FICO score, and we have a 1-year and a 2-year option for our bank statement program. And this pricing this is probably one of our top selling non-QM products. It's priced very competitively. I actually priced out some stuff for you. You guys have your comp set at, do you know it's at 2 3/8? Is that pretty standard for the lenders you work with?
Yeah, we're pretty much 2 3/8 across the board, and then I believe we have a comp cap with you guys as well.
Yes. So
At
you're
14.
at 14,000.
Yep.
And you set your minimum at 1,500, and you don't have a flat fee. So do you guys do any borrower paid, or most everything going lender paid?
No, we do a handful of borrower paid for sure.
Okay.
Um,
Because I
yeah.
did price some stuff out for you, but I priced it mainly borrower paid, just so you can see what some of the rates look like. So like on our DSCR, going borrower paid, you're looking at 6.375, and it's still giving a $2,200 credit on our bank statement program here. And this is based on a 1 million purchase price, 20% down. And on the bank statement, you're looking at 6 1/8, and it's still giving almost a $2,000 credit going borrower paid. And then our Smart Edge, which I'll go into at 6%, that's basically at par. Does anyone have
borrower paid?
This is all borrower paid, yes.
Can we can do them lender paid though?
You absolutely can.
Understood.
I just wanted to price it borrower paid, but you can adjust for your comp.
Yeah.
When I saw that, when I saw your comp at 2 3/8, I was thinking, well, maybe you do a lot of stuff borrower paid. I wasn't sure.
No, we're probably 70-30 split, lender paid to borrower paid. But again, we're really a paper, right?
Gotcha.
So when this type of stuff comes up, yeah, we'll shift gears sometimes.
Got you. So also under our Smart Self, you can do a 1099 or a P&L, and you do have a 1-year option, but it does require the 5 years in the same industry if you do a 1-year. Okay.
So you can just give a 1099 and it's just a 10% hit?
Correct.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty competitive.
Well, are you going to email us the deck after?
I am.
Perfect, thank you.
Yeah, I will email you this. So one thing about our non-QM products, we actually securitize all of these loans. And so with that, being the investor, the servicer, and securitizing these loans, we actually can give a lot of guideline exceptions. And I'll send details on that. Up to 30% of the guidelines they'll look at and make possible exceptions for you. They look at them case by case. But since we hold this book of business, it's pretty flexible. So if you're like a little off on your score or your LTV is a little off, they probably can make an exception for you.
Oh, I have one I'm going to call you about, see if you can make an exception on. We'll put you to the test.
Yeah, I was thinking about you.
That's usually the case with first deals are the difficult ones, but we will
email it to you right after we're done with this.
Is this still Lone Star?
What's that?
Is this still going to Lone Star?
Oh, you're asking me? I'm not sure, to be honest with you. You're talking about
you're asking, Jen?
Go ahead.
Servicing?
The first servicing.
So Lone Star was the investor.
Yeah.
When it was Caliber, and I personally can say that I did get exceptions. Except not condos and lawsuits or condos with extreme deferred maintenance. No dice there, but I did get other exceptions on these programs.
So was this a non-warrantable condo that you're going to forward to me?
No, it's actually I have a borrower who has 2 lates that was a mistake on the bank side, and I have all the documentation for that, but we can't. Look at it. So
yeah. We'll look at it. So also to get back, our Smart Edge, that's basically for those clients on your agency side or jumbo side that fell out, maybe because of some credit issues or they're not quite meeting the criteria. It's a full doc program, and we also on here we have an asset qualifier. So basically, if you have a client with a lot of assets and they have at least a minimum of 500,000, it's a very streamlined transaction. The rates are great. And all we'll ask for is the most recent statement and one from 6 months back. And we're going to qualify based on those assets. And it's not actually listed here, but you'll see right here, it says asset depletion, income may be used primary and second homes. You're going to divide by 60. Investments divide by 240, allow 100% of income from asset depletion. So we also do asset depletion as well on this program. So this basically, it is a full doc program, our Smart Edge, but and it's geared towards those clients that you had not been successful closing on the agency side or the jumbo side. So this is an alternative. So don't give up hope if you have one that fell out. Always keep in mind that NewRez might be able to make that one work for you. Okay. And then for the asset base, this is our asset qualifier, which I was mentioning a second ago. Again, we need to have at least 6 months seasoned personal assets, but we just want one or the most recent statement and one from 6 months ago. And it lists here what we're going to ask for, the type of assets, if it's stocks, bonds, retirement accounts, and if it's a retirement account, it tells you we're going to use 50% of that account. So this is a very streamlined program. I don't know if any of you have done one of these type of transactions, but it's extremely streamlined. It's if you have a cookie cutter deal and the client has a lot of assets, why go through all the rigmarole trying to qualify them? If they have assets, you can just qualify them based on that alone.
This seems like it's going to fit a couple missing pieces that we've got, because we've got those clients, right, where they're like, they've got assets, but Meg, I'm thinking of that client where it was like, you don't turn 59.5 for a year, but you've got a couple $1,000,000 in the bank, but it wasn't quite enough for your traditional 240 calculation. It was like everything we were missing, just one piece. This would probably solve
absolutely. This is that client, or someone who's on a fixed income, or they just started a new job, but they got a ton of assets.
Right. Cool.
Yeah. And then also we do non-warrantable condos on our, that's why I was asking earlier if it was a condo, because we, on our non-QM products, we do non-warrantable condos. And we have a great condo team that will look at your cases before you even submit a file to us. So if you have anything, you can just forward it to me and I'll get it to the condo team, and they're very fast at responding back. And then also for looking at income and assets, we have a team. In some cases on these products, we require a worksheet to be completed before you submit the loan to us. So they really want to review the income and assets before you submit a file to us. So if you have any cases going non-QM, just reach out to me and I'll make sure I get those submitted to the underwriters so they can review it, and then they'll submit you back the completed worksheet that they completed that you can submit with your transaction for us.
Cool.
Also, let's see what else I want to make sure. Well, I have a few seconds left. I mentioned earlier, I don't know if this is industry-wide on non-QM products, that they're allowing 6% contributions now on non-owner transactions. Are you guys hearing that this is across the board?
For the interested party? No. Although, I don't know, guys, have you run into anything where you have too much seller credit on stuff? I mean, it's cool that it's available and you can leverage it with the structure of the offer and stuff now, for sure.
My understanding is they changed that because there's no guarantee the seller's paying the realtor commission. So it was about building a realtor commission.
Because they were hitting you for interested party. I understand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Kind of like how VA had to rework that.
Yes.
And another big win that's coming in February, we're actually going to allow cryptocurrency for reserves, and it won't need to be liquidated. And we know that we are the only lender out there that's offering this, that's going to be
Wow.
offering this. And then, of course, everyone will follow. But that's huge for us. Do you guys deal with clients that have cryptocurrency?
The knowledge that I have of the people that we have dealt with it, they're
Mhm.
liquidating it to use the actual cash, not using it for reserves.
Mhm.
But I mean, it's a sign of things moving in the right direction for sure.
Absolutely. So that's coming in February. They didn't give us a set date, but once I have information on that, I'll send that out. Are most of you getting emails from me now?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure you guys are getting my emails.
Yep.
I think that's all I really have for you right now. Does anyone have any questions?
So the crypto will be for smart products, correct?
Yes. Absolutely. It's strictly going to be on our non-QM smart product.
No, this is some good stuff, Paul.
And I'm going to forward this to you because I didn't want to read through all of that. It would take me about 30 minutes.
Yeah, no, there's some certain little niches that I'm sure, and I mean, I know I'm guilty of this, but I'm sure other ILOs are too, of it doesn't quite fit the A-paper box all the time.
Mhm.
And we don't necessarily always know where to turn.
So when you
solve it.
Mhm.
So
when you guys have cases like that, or do you search around to find a solution, or some of them you just give up?
A mix.
Okay.
Depends. Is the client an asshole, or what, like what's the deal? You know? But no, it's searching around. But I mean, you obviously have got some good stuff here.
Absolutely.
You'll be one of the first calls that we want to make for trying to solve some of these problems. And yes, I know you do A-paper
Mhm.
and stuff like that. We're not just going to send you the shitty deals.
Yeah.
But
I'm very upfront. You guys will learn that about me. I'm very honest upfront. We are definitely not competitive on agency where we should be. I'd say the sweet spots for us is definitely going to be the non-QM and government.
yeah, you guys have really good VA pricing a lot of the time.
Absolutely. I got a VA jumbo that just got submitted, and it's the rate is really low. I definitely recommend when you're pricing out to make sure you open the rate stack so you'll immediately see just one rate for each product, but you have to click on view rates, and it'll give you a stack, and you can see somewhere the pricing looks like it's not in order, and you might see a lower rate with even more credit.
Yeah,
so
some
just be careful when you're looking at the rates. Just don't think what you see first is the actual, rate. There's other rates that are available for you to go in and look at. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Be careful there.
So awesome.
Okay.
Well, Paul, really appreciate your time. This is actually some excellent products. Yeah, I'm excited to find some uses for this. And again, you guys, NewRez consistently comes up at the top for government pricing.
Absolutely.
We've used them multiple times previously, and now you can put a face with the name. And I'll make sure, I think it's accurate, but I'll make sure that all Paul's contact information is correct on our wholesale board and all that kind of stuff. But thank you for joining us.
Thanks a lot. I'll forward you this presentation, and if anyone has any questions, just reach out to me. Okay.
Paul, could you also provide us with a recap on what NewRez wants for us on Streamlines when it's not a NewRez loan?
On like an FHA Streamline or a VA IRRRL?
Both. So like, when does NewRez require the note? I know sometimes they do.
Oh.
When do they want us to have that FICO, that kind of thing? When do we show income on the 1003? When don't we? Because those were quirks before.
Okay.
So it'd be good to just see it written out.
So you basically want a checklist for what we're looking for on
Right.
Streamline.
So we know what your quirks are for those streams.
Sure.
That's a great
idea. Provide that.
Yeah, these are going to become really relevant right now with where rates are. So yeah. Cool.
Sure. All right.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
I
Paul.
look forward to working with you guys. And
Yeah,
I'll be stopping in to visit too. Do you guys work mostly from home or you
yeah, most are remote. We're here in Santa Rosa, but there's only a few of us.
Yeah, I plan to come out there. There's a restaurant I really like in Santa Rosa called Bird. I think it's called Bird and Bottle. Is that what
yeah, over on 4th Street.
Yeah, I love that place. They have a great beet smoked beet salad.
Yeah, we'll go get some lunch or something.
There you go. Okay, let's do that. We'll
Cool.
get that on the calendar. All right, you guys. Happy New Year. And if you have questions, just reach out and I'll get all this information over to you.
Sounds good. Thanks,
All
Paul.
right, take care.
All right. So, yeah, those are actually, I didn't know they had that much non-QM stuff. So those are actually pretty good. It just happens to be we were talking about some DSCR, some bank statement stuff around here lately. And I know, Stephanie, you've got that tough one that we were talking about on the phone. And I don't think Julie's in here, but she's got kind of a weird one too. So that might fit that box. But okay, on to normal news. All right. First and foremost, December top producers. Let me remember who it was because I'm putting those things out so fast now. Yes, Megan took first in units and in volume. It's awesome. And then me and Jen were a mix for units and volume. So great job, everybody there. We finished the year off really strong. Obviously, we kind of, and this is everybody, you kind of hit that slide like from Christmas through New Year. And then I don't know about you guys, but it was kind of weird like having the first business day of the year be a Friday on the 2nd. And then last week was the first full week. But I'll tell you, like on the 7th or 8th of last week, it was like everybody woke up, right? As far as I think everybody was kind of like, hey, I can actually reach out to clients now. And realtors were pounding the pavement and it was quiet. Now it's seeming like a good start to the year. Rates are definitely cooperating as well, as we can all tell for that aspect. So that's great. Lender news. And I should mention as well, those of you guys that were here for the December all hands, that was a short one. This is kind of the bookend to that with there wasn't all that much that happened between then and now. So we're going to have kind of the back half of this meeting to kind of have an open forum like normal. We don't have a ton to pass, but I just want to go over some basic stuff as far as, let me pull up the lender list and see if there was anybody new that we need to talk about. We've been sending more and more to Nations Direct. Mark, Ryan, if you guys want to speak on that, they've been impressive so far. And I mean, Ryan, I know you've had a ton of experience with them previously, but I'd like to get Mark's take on them as well as far as comparing them to some of our other lenders. This thing's still loading.
Their technology, they use the same TPO website that a lot of the lenders use and everything, and it's not super technologically advanced, but like Dan has said, they make up for it with the people. They are instantly responding, and they'll do things out of order for us. So I mean, we don't have everything you need for the CD. You email them, they'll get the CD out for you anyway. They've been great to work with so far.
Yep. That's good. We've also all been doing a bit with First Tech for the HELOCs. Those have been going well. Little bit of awkward like delays with them, but I mean, getting paid 2 points on this stuff and helping the borrowers out, that's great. I know that word is supposed to come out tomorrow, which I know I'll probably have to reach out to the AE to extract this, about them changing their EPO policy. Right? Because right now it was if somebody pays down the initial line that they took by more than 25%, it triggers an EPO within 6 months. They're changing that to people would have to pay down 75% of the line to trigger an EPO. So that would be a nice change. I know I have somebody racked up ready to go because she's like, hey, I'm going to pay part of this off, but just a cool feature, but it's nice to be paid on HELOCs. You know what I mean?
Hey, Glenn, also remember it's like dirt cheap, their title and escrow fees.
Yeah.
Because they use in-house or they do it through WFG.
And they have like an in-house thing. Yeah. What do the total fees run for one of those things?
It depends on your line and all that kind of stuff, but it's like maybe $2,000 out the door. I think I think it's actually cheaper. It's probably closer to $1,500.
Yeah, AVM most of the time. So if you could structure it correctly and educate the borrower, they're not hard to do.
And what's the comp?
What's the comp?
Yeah.
2 points. And
On the
there's no
draw or the line.
on the draw, unfortunately. The funny thing is that we're kind of like, what if we go borrower paid? They're like, it's still 2 points. Rate doesn't change. We're like, okay. So twist our arm, I guess. Otherwise, I have been seeing some of the reviews you guys are putting in on the wholesale board. Thank you. And also all of you can see those as well, the written reviews and whatnot. So that's awesome. Otherwise, we don't really have any other lender news unless you guys have anything. I know that the UWM point stuff changed here for watch your videos, talk to Kevin, all that kind of stuff. But we all just kind of roll with that. Looking through the list real quick.
It's not that big a deal. They want you to use chat UWM 5 times a month now. Okay.
Yeah.
You can only do it 2 times a day though. So like do it twice, ask 2 stupid questions.
Mark your calendar.
2 more stupid questions and then 1 more stupid question and you're done. And then putting on the sales huddle, you have to watch it twice a month now, but you just put it on and you mute it. And then,
But don't close the tab.
yeah, don't close the tab. You just mute it. And
Yeah.
go on with
But
your-
now you can go to another screen. It used to be you had to stay on that screen or it stopped it. Now you can go do other things.
It's a beautiful thing. I'm like, oh, I did 2 already. Cool.
Well, remember, I mean, they'll figure out a way to make us like watch it at some point. It was they used to be able to like put it on *2,
Yes.
right? And then like close the tab, and you're like, oh, okay. I mean, they're gonna be like, we're tracking your eyeballs now, or something like that. So,
You don't have to watch it live, do you? Can you watch the rerun?
no, you can watch the replay, but
Yeah.
you can watch it weeks ago. Like it's only good from that Wednesday to Wednesday. or
Yeah,
whatever,
right.
Wednesday to But those of you that are so inclined to play the game, you know,
It's worth 20 points. It's pretty.
yeah, no,
valuable, man.
you're like, it's worth it. Some people are like, I'm not using them. You're like, fine, don't watch the video.
Hey, but for clarification though, I didn't see this, but someone has mentioned using the AI tools is, you only have to use chat UWM like 5 times a month. And to Jennifer's point, you can't do more than 2 times a day. But that piece of it is only 5 points. The other part of the AI tools is what they call Action IQ. So when you're in your dashboard, you'll have a little thing up in the right-hand corner. If it gives you an action item, you got to do at least 90% of it. That's worth 10 points. So of the 15 points under AI tools, only 5's for the chat UWM. So you want to make sure you get your action items, if you get any action items.
Yeah.
So
If
make
you
sure
have
you do that.
0, if you have 0 action items, then you automatically get the 10 points because 90% of 0 is 0. Yay, win.
Is that true?
Yes, that's true. I verified with Kevin.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I've been waiting. I don't have any action items. I'm like, how am I supposed to get them if I don't have any action items?
Same.
So,
Yeah.
anyway, so it's not just chat UWM. Okay, that's an easy one. Just click on a question once a day for 5
Yeah.
days.
Awesome. Our resident insider with UWM, Tim Soldati here. So thank you.
Ultimate submission does the same kind of thing. Like if you're doing a VA stream, then the appraisal, you get that for your ultimate submission for getting your 3 things done. They'll count it as being done.
Yeah, they
Because
count an
it doesn't
appraisal
apply.
waiver, which counts for
Oh,
the
okay.
streamlines as well.
So if
Yeah.
it doesn't apply, then you get the benefit on your checklist. Just like with this, if you don't have any action items, you get the benefit of completing the action items. Same concept.
Okay, good. And also don't forget, you're no longer getting points for doing your memory maker, but the memory maker is part of your customer happiness score. So you still want to send your memory makers out.
Sounds like we're just going to be sending cards now, just to check those boxes. So anyways, that's our monthly update for UWM. Otherwise, anybody have any other lender questions, news, anything? I know we signed up with United Ag, who does ag type stuff. I know Claire wanted to get them because they've got some rural property type stuff. So that one's kind of just a niche item. But does anybody have any other success stories, problems they're going through with lenders right now? I know our volume isn't popping, but it's about to. But I was just wondering if there's any issues out there.
I know I did a DSCR with ARC, which I know I have another one trying that I'm struggling with. But the first one I did, Colin is great. So I don't know if you guys have all worked with him, but
Yeah, I have.
he's really good. So just thought I'd throw that in there.
Yeah, he's a good and ARC, and I know I put this in the notes for the lender too. It's not a fluke. They just have shit hot investment pricing. They almost always are on top for investment properties. And that's kind of the angle that they're taking. They want to buy the market for it. So hey, we'll play the game. So good stuff there. Otherwise, Mark, do you have anything for ops?
Just that we're constantly kind of tweaking things. So as things come out, or if there's any new policies, procedures, I'll make sure to have a video go out so I can update all of you guys. But did we want to talk about Stephanie?
Oh yeah, we hired another processor. She's going to be starting on Tuesday. She's got experience. She's located on the East Coast, but she understands we're all essentially in West Coast time period or mountain time, etc. We've worked with her previously. She's great. We're excited. And it's going to really bolster our capacity moving forward here, especially if rates hold here, because I know we're all kind of like churning through being like, all right, there's going to be 2 or 3 refis in here that we can grab, and we're all kind of doing it at the same time. She starts next week. We'll get her up to speed pretty quickly here with ops, and that'll be exciting.
She's broker experienced, Arrive experienced, and on all that kind of stuff. So it should be quick. She just has to learn the GTG way of things.
Yeah. So good news on that front. Otherwise, make sure for your refis, you guys are using the payoff tool. Don't want to be that person that's off $2,000-$3,000 when quoting a borrower because you're just going off of principal balance or what they told you. Be accurate with that stuff because you know how it can shift numbers and payments and loan amounts and all that kind of stuff. Throw a appraisal waiver out the window or something if your LTV shifts.
Start on refi, start thinking about having borrowers call and ask their servicer to pay their taxes right now. Because if they've got impounds, it's 5 months difference. Yeah,
that's a great tip. Jen also brings up the fact that, hey, here in California, it's like the tax bill is going to need to get paid right now. All lenders, impounds or not, lenders are going to require that installment to be paid. And then of course, normal tax prorations on your purchases type stuff. But that can put a big kink in stuff when you're like, oh yeah, refi costs $3,000, $3,500. Then you show them a bottom, they're like, I don't want to add anything to the loan. And you're showing them a bottom line that is $12,000. You're kind of like,
it can be a small cash out with a rate and term refi.
Oh, which is a great point too. Julie Colcleaser brought that up to Mark, and you guys are probably aware, but Mark, what was it? Fannie or Freddie changed the rule now for the
just back in October of 25. Freddie did this years ago, but it was you could either get $2,000 cash back or up to 1% of the loan amount, whichever was greater. That's what Freddie had moved to, and Fannie now aligns with that. So on some of these larger loan amounts, you're like, oh, actually they could get back, $5,500 instead of $2,000 or whatever it be. So, I mean, especially if you're rolling in taxes into the new loan amount and you want to give them some cash, it's kind of like a little quasi cash out, but at rate and term price. So,
yeah, so you can certainly manipulate stuff that way. You're going to get your escrow account refunded. You're going to miss a payment. We're going to get you $5,000 at the close of escrow. You could create this $12,000 of cash flow essentially for somebody in a lot of circumstances where they're like, oh, okay, without having to fully go down the cash out path and the LLPAs associated. So yeah, that's some good stuff there, some structure. Let's see.
Do we know if W2s are on NetSuite yet?
Sorry, say again.
I can't tell if Sergio's on. Have W2s posted to NetSuite yet?
No, NetSuite is notoriously slow, and they like to run it right down to the wire at the end of January.
September the 31st or whatever is the.
So you might receive it. You probably would actually receive it in the mail faster than I'll receive it electronically. Something in 2026, but that is where we're at.
Yeah, so W-2s and 1099s, I think the deadline is the 31st that they need to issue them. of this month for everybody doing taxes and whatnot. So those will obviously come out, and we'll all be getting them at the same time, essentially. Yeah, speaking of payroll stuff, everybody was emailed out the holiday schedule, the payroll schedule, pretty standard stuff for this year. Nothing crazy there. But Sergio, do you have anything else on the admin side, Tad?
Nope.
Okay.
I have a question on that.
Yeah.
So there was all this talk about Trump negating some federal holidays. That didn't actually happen, right? So we don't have to worry about that for precision, like Juneteenth and MLK Day. That was just talk.
It must have been. I mean, I would hate for them to do it like what happened when Juneteenth rolled out. What was that, like 5 days prior? We were all like, what the hell? No, I haven't seen anything. The only chatter that I had heard about that was them doing like Christmas Eve and like Boxing Day, or like the 26th, making those federal holidays or something. But I have no idea. I still maintain, like Sergio said, they should make the Monday after the Super Bowl a federal holiday. But just don't affect TRID timelines. That'd be great. You know?
Yeah, let's make it a GTG holiday.
I mean, you can just, yeah, that would be great. Every year, it's like more stuff keeps getting added. It's like we're turning into Europe over here. It's like, yeah, we get like
You
6
run
weeks
the
up.
company, Glenn. You can do whatever you want.
Gee, thanks, Serge. Otherwise, the only other thing I had to pass down, which I will send out information on this, no major change or anything, and we have about a 60-day wind down, is we're going to be moving away from Adobe. Those that use Adobe, there are some phenomenal free tools out there that are just as secure, and we can do everything plus some without the additional costs. So we still have Adobe for a few months. We're going to roll out these new tools for that, including e-signature stuff. Those of you using e-signature in there, if you'd like to keep Adobe, by all means you can, but you could pay the $25 a month. Yes, Amy.
Are your new tools going to allow us to like modify PDFs?
Modify, create, redact, spin, replace, everything you can do now. Say
Okay.
again?
What are you recommending that we download?
It's not a download. It's called Bento PDF. I'll send a link out to you guys. It's already on the start.me page. I just haven't told anybody really about it. It's browser based. So when you clear the browser, it's not downloading any documents or anything. So it's totally secure. I've already started using it. Works great. And this is the type of stuff, and you guys know that we've been talking about building our own CRM, all these different things. This is where we're really utilizing AI, is becoming more efficient and more economical with a lot of these things. That's why I was giving you guys all that shit about the NPMA 33. I'm like, I'm not going to go pay $30 to get this. We can figure out how to get the damn thing for free, you know? And if we actually, and that's why I was like, does somebody actually need this? I'll go pay for it, like if we need it. But in the meantime, you do actually need it. Even though the lenders are giving you the 2004, which I can hear her, by the way. She's right over there. Nobody can hear you. But yeah, we'll figure that type stuff out. But there's a lot of efficiencies that we're picking up using this type of stuff. And it's great. You know, just the old legacy technologies kind of getting their lunch eaten by some of these new tools. So anyways, we've got a couple month rollout of being able to use these. So it's not like you guys aren't going to be able to sign into Adobe today or anything like that. But yeah, that's basically all I had to pass down. I wanted to open it up to you guys. Any topics on the table? Jen, I know you and me have a meeting in a little while. Go over some cool tech stuff.
I'm on the homepage. Where's the Bento thing?
So right in the middle, hold on. Right in the middle under critical tools, under critical tools and then business tools. It's the first one on their PDF editor.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
And I like how they address pretty heavily on the homepage about the security of it. Because I know that's the biggest thing, right? We're like, this isn't like a signed in account anymore. It's like, doesn't need to be. It's just cached on your, unless somebody grabs your computer from you with those documents in there, it's like it's secure. Yeah. So, and shout out to Ryan. Thank you for that suggestion with that stuff. Because again, I do hate Adobe. They just, it is not a very good program anymore. But yeah, what else you guys have? That much, huh? All right. Well, if you guys don't have anything else, I'm obviously here if you want to chat offline, but let me know. And I think that we can all agree, we hope rates keep cooperating here. It's looking like a good start to the year with stuff. I'm trying to roll out as fast as I can some of these refi tools that we're building to help us all get some more loans. But I'll keep sending out information on them. And those of you that want to utilize them, please reach out and we'll get you set up. So thanks for showing up, everybody. And I will see you out there.
Cool.
I did have a quick note about the Bento. It's fully mobile and tablet compliant. So like, it doesn't matter what you run it on. As long as it can access the internet, it has an interface change that will work with whatever you're running it on.
Oh, very cool. Yes. Oh, and I think they do say they do e-signature on there. It doesn't really work.
Yeah.
We've got another solution for that. But again, I'm going to send out all the info on that for you guys. Right now, you can still use Adobe. Okay. If you're not ready for the change. But anyways, thank you guys for showing up, and I will see you guys in the trenches. I got to figure out how to turn off this recording.